My name is Mālie. I am 18 years old and I live in Haiku, Maui. When I was 9, I started riding horses.
So how did that get introduced to you?
Right below my grandparents' house, there was a neighbor and she had horses. And I was like always so fascinated by it, and my papa used to do rodeo and stuff. So then that kind of just like sparked something inside me, and so for years I like bugged my parents and I was like, can I get a horse? Can I get a horse, please? And then actually right up the street from here is an arena, and that's where I actually started. So Kaupukalua was where I started like my rodeos and everything, and that's where I started practicing, and that's like my home arena now.
What was it about it that you were just like so fixed on?
I think just everything like rodeo really like to me was super cool, and like as a kid I was like, oh my gosh, like look at all these cowgirls, like they look so fancy with like all their like bedazzled outfits, and they're so pretty, and like as a kid I loved unicorns. So that was like the closest thing I could get to a unicorn.
Have you ever dressed up your horse with a unicorn?
She wasn't a fan of it. I had to take it off like 2 minutes later.
So before you got your horse, was your papa still pretty active in rodeo?
He actually stopped like when my mom guys were little, and then when I like really wanted to do it, he's like, oh shucks, like maybe I should do it again.
So it's been kind of like a special bonding experience for both of you, huh?
Yeah, and it's super special because we're together like all the time, and like we team rope together, and he's taught me everything that I know. So we're super close. I think when I won Miss Hawaii High School Rodeo Queen, he was like super proud of me, and he came with me to nationals to like help me just to watch like modeling and like speeches, and that's like not his thing at all. Like he would never be sitting there watching that if it wasn't for me, but he was just there to like support me and like watch me, which was like super special.
What was that experience like?
I think nationals was like the greatest experience of my entire life.
Yeah?
And I had no idea that the National High School Finals Rodeo is the biggest rodeo in the entire world contestants-wise.
Oh, wow.
And I've never like done something like that and like be like in the same places as so many people from like all around the world who like love the same thing that I do.
I mean, you've done so much already. What do you want to do for the future?
I actually like starting off like I wanted to do like forensics and like CSI, so I actually went and did the Maui Police Department CSI camp one summer. And so I did that, and I was like, okay, but I also like the idea of being a first responder. So I was like, okay, maybe like an EMT would be pretty cool, and I like wasn't too sure about it. But then when the Lahaina fires happened, like and the hospital was just like super overflowed, they started sending patients over to War Memorial. And my mom has a friend that works in the ER, and so she called her. And my mom's also a nurse. And so she was like, oh, like we need help, like we need wound care, like we need nurses, we need people down here like ASAP. And so my mom's like, all right, I'm coming. And I was like, can I go? Like, can I be helpful? Like, I'm not doing anything at home. Like, I might as well. It was like me, my mom, her friend, there was a lifeguard, and there was like another EMT. And that was like the first people there. And it was just us. And there was like a bunch of people who like needed wound care, like head to toes. Like, it was gnarly. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like jumping in, like doing all this stuff. And then I ended up staying over at War Memorial and working for 10 hours straight. And it felt like 10 minutes. And I absolutely fell in love. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, all right, I want to be an EMT. I want to be a paramedic. Also, I got this comment a lot from like people who like know that I do rodeo and everything. They're like, you can like think really fast. Cause like with rodeo, you have to make like crucial like decisions really fast. Like just the slightest like change can like save your life. So like be able to like think really fast and like on your toes helps. So like with all those things combined, people are like, bro, like you got this.